You have a book called Earn, Protect, Grow.
Yes.
Tell us about that. What is this about?
So Earn, Protect, Grow, actually, in my opinion, is the most important foundational principles that entrepreneurs need to understand in order to have a very successful business and life. When people have low ticket offers, they don't think about the fact that the lower the offer is, yes, it's more easily adoptable by the general public, yes, but you also need to have more volume. To understand how to put together a proper contract as a business owner, you have to think in terms of your customers and not your best customers, not the customers you love, not the customers you want. You have to think in terms of the customers that you don't love and the ones that you don't want and the ones that'll be problematic. So you have to think about the worst case scenario when you're building a contract of all of the worst things that your customer could do to screw you over or something that you really don't want to happen. And then you build out your contract in that regard.
So this episode of the podcast is very special because you have a book called Earn, Protect, Grow.
Yes.
Tell us about that. What is this about?
So Earn, Protect, Grow, actually, in my opinion, is the most important foundational principles that entrepreneurs need to understand in order to have a very successful business and life. Most people, when they think of income from a one-dimensional standpoint, which is earning income. Mm-hmm. Just how much money can I earn? I make $1 million a year, $20 million a year, $100 million a year. Everybody's just trying to move the needle forward on the earn piece. However, there are two other aspects of income that people need to understand. One is earning it, one is protecting it, and one is growing it. And believe it or not, in all three of these mechanisms, you can earn significant amount of money in the immediate short term and the long term if you structure your life and your business the correct way. So we've broken this down into three very distinct mechanisms called Earn, Protect, Grow, which I'll go into the principles that govern these three sectors. When it comes to earning money, there are two ways that you can earn money. Well, there's really five, but there's two ways that you can charge. Okay, so the 5 ways to earn money is you can earn it with your time, your energy. Okay, you can earn it with your you can invest, you can earn it with relationships. And the last way you can earn it is by being a specialist at something. So a brain surgeon, an investor. A brain surgeon is a specialist. An investor invests their money. Employee uses their time. A connector will connect the dots. And then obviously, energy would be like a hype man or something like that. So these are the 5 ways that you can earn. But in those 5 ways, there's 2 ways that you can charge. And you can charge a low ticket or you can charge a high ticket. Low ticket would be anything under $1,000. You generally need to have a large marketing budget to earn significant amount of capital. We discussed this on one of our podcasts, but I wanted to get the numbers right. The national average closing ratio is 20%. So in order to make $1 million at $1,000 with $1,000 product, you would have to sell 1,000 of these products. In order to sell 1,000 of these products, you would have to have, at a 20% closing ratio, you would have to have at least 5,000 people interested, or 5,000 people interested in order to close a $1,000 product. Mm-hmm. So the question is, how do you get your product in front of 5,000 people? And in order to do that, you need money for advertising. When people have low ticket offers, they don't think about the fact that the lower the offer is, yes, it's more easily adoptable by the general public, yes, but you also need to have more volume. In order to get the volume, you need marketing dollars.
It's a mass market play.
Exactly. The second part is high ticket offers, which is a product that would be, in my opinion, a high ticket offer is a product that is 10,000 or more. So on that same $10,000 offer, now you just need 100 people in order to close, in order to make $1 million. It's far easier to get in front of 100 people with no advertising than it is to get in front of 5,000 people. The only difference is that where people fail with that is that the average Black American has less than 17,000 in the bank. The average Latino American has less than 23,000 in the bank. So a lot of times people are trying to sell high ticket offers to individuals without the most important caveat in place, which is the very thing that runs the entire American economy, which is debt, credit. Once you have a financing options that work, now you can sell 100 $10,000 products easy. Now all you have to do is market your product to people who are interested in your service. 100 people at a $10,000 price point. So those are the two ways you can charge. That covers the earn part. Obviously, everything we've discussed about building an automated business makes that earn part more effective, but it's still earned income. The next part is your protective mechanism, which is how are you protecting the money that you've earned? Now, there's two ways to protect money, right? One way to protect money is legally protecting it. So the legal protection aspect of earning, protecting, and growing, the legal protection is extremely important because the money that you make and the money that you lose is all based on the contract that you sign. Mm-hmm. If you exchange $100,000 with somebody without a contract, you pretty much have damn near pissed away your money because there's no recourse there.
Yeah, there's no protection.
There's no protection behind it. So you have to have a contract in place. And the information that's in the contract is what actually determines whether or not this is a good deal or not, is what's in those pieces of paper. To understand how to put together a proper contract as a business owner, you have to think in terms of your customers. And not your best customers, not the customers you love, not the customers you want. You have to think in terms of the customers that you don't love and the ones that you don't want and the ones that will be problematic. Okay, those are the ones that you have to think about when you're building your contract. So your contract has to be, how can I protect myself from people that are not going to do right by me? And then from the customer standpoint, am I clearly outlining exactly what I'm going to deliver to the customer in this contract? Because once you have a contract that clearly outlines what it is that you're providing, as well as your refund policies, right, as well as certain additional mechanisms that we utilize within high ticket offer financing, like notaries and things of that nature. Once you have those things in place and the customer signs, the customer is agreeing to the terms and conditions within the contract. So you have to think about the worst case scenario when you're building a contract of all of the worst things that your customer could do to screw you over or something that you really don't want to happen. And then you build out your contract in that regard. The other part of protection is what you do with your money. How do you protect your money? The best way to protect your money is going to be insuring your money. So right now we insure cars, we insure our health, but you can also insure your money. Once you understand how to insure your money, what this gives you the ability to do is to put your family in a position where if something happens to you, proceeds can be paid out to designated individuals that you've put in your policy. But even more importantly than that, insurance policies, when they're properly structured, will also give you the ability to take out loans against those policies while the insurance policy continues to grow tax deferred.
So basically, you're saying that in order to protect my money, I have to leverage an insurance policy.
That is, yes. Like, if you want to protect it properly, where there's no possibility of losing your principal, yes, 100%. And this mechanism that we're discussing here is how individuals like Warren Buffett, Chase Bank, Bank of America, if you look at their P&Ls, you can see exactly how they are moving their money. They're earning money, and then they're dumping all of it into insurance policies, and then they're doing the last part of what we're going to discuss, which is the growth mechanism.
Got it. Okay, so the first part is protect yourself legally with contracts. Second part is protecting your money with insurance policies.
Yes. So then after you've mastered, and guess what, guys? This is a very easy structure to do. It's not, obviously you need to have the proper structuring, proper people in place to help you structure everything properly. Like, not all insurance policies are made equal. You have to go to the right people. We have those as well. But the important part for me to help you understand is that once you earn the money, if you earn your money and the first thing you do is spend it, and you haven't gone through this succession of what it is that I'm telling you, you're delaying not only your retirement, but you're also putting yourself and your family in jeopardy. Delaying your retirement, how are you doing that? Because if every time you make money, if you spend it without doing these three things that I'm discussing now, you're going back to the bottom line, or back to zero, or back to 10,000 lower. And if you do that over and over and over again, your money will eventually be depleted to zero. Take it from experience with somebody who's invested a lot and has lost a lot, like a lot of investors. If you don't have the insurance piece in place, you have nothing to insure your money. Here's the beautiful thing about insurance, right? If I take my money and I put it into an insurance policy, and I have the ability to borrow against that policy, which I'll discuss in a second. But if I take my money and I put it into an insurance policy, if I really need the money, I can sell the insurance policy even after I've borrowed against it. So the reality is that this insurance policy adds to your net worth. It gives you the ability to have an asset that can be liquidated at any time should you need the money. And this is the most important thing that you need as an entrepreneur, because you don't want to be in a position where you're 40, 50, 60, 70 years old and you haven't structured your life properly from the time you were young. Now you're older and you don't have the same energy that you had before, but you have to keep working and grinding to make money. That means that somewhere along the lines things weren't done correctly.
Proper, yeah.
The last part of it is growing your money. If you are not a day trader by trade, if you have a business that earns money and you want to grow money, then you earn your money from your business, you put it into an insurance policy, and let's say you want to grow your money through trading. Where a lot of people get messed up with this grow piece is that they believe that this grow piece is an aggressive move. And in order for it to be aggressive, you have to take on more risk. The more risk you take on, the more of a possibility of this going to zero is. So you don't want to earn money, right? Which is, business is already risky as it is. You don't want to earn money in a risky endeavor and then turn around and put the money you've earned into another risky endeavor. So you want to start to allow your grow mechanism to be in a space where it can grow safely over time. So now you've looked at these three mechanisms: earning money, protecting money, and growing money. If you've done this correctly, you have money for your immediate short term, You have your money if you need it with your insurance policies, and then you have your money for your future in your grow mechanism, which can be real estate, your S&P 500, or even Bitcoin is great right now. So there's a lot of different things you can do on the grow space. But the point is that these three that I mentioned are very more on the safe side as far as growing your money. And this is what you need. So you need to separate your income into 3 separate pots so you can have a very structured financials. These are things that I've learned over time. I've learned it through obliterating my finances. Right? I've learned it by trying to be a home run hitter every single time I step up to bat. Spending the most money, investing the most money, taking on the most risk, and eventually you try different things, even like diversification. And what people don't understand about diversification is that if you're diversifying outside of your industry, each one of these industries need what? Time, attention, understanding. So when I was diversifying into a lot of different industries, I might be doing Airbnb, trading Bitcoin, and doing all these other things. But then if my Airbnb business is going well and Bitcoin is going down, I'm having an emotional reaction. When you can diversify in one sector, like I can have 20 Airbnbs. I can diversify in crypto. I can diversify in exotic cars, multiple different cars, low ticket cars, high ticket cars, exotic cars, regular cars. Every single industry has the ability for you to diversify within that industry. And that allows your grow mechanism to grow more effectively over time. So when you have your income coming in, and you diversify it you allocate your income a certain way, right? Where you have these 3 mechanisms in place, you set yourself up with the best chance of winning. Books that help me, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Alexis Holyfield, because she's one of the individuals who really helped me understand this. And it came as a result of me taking some serious L's in business and having to start all over again and wondering where I messed up. Like, how did I get to a point where I made all that money and lost it? Like, how did I lose it? How did I not have something in place for a time where I could potentially lose it? So the book Earn, Protect, Grow is about these 3 things. It outlines the very mechanisms that you need in your contracts in order for you to have a solid contract. Mm-hmm. It also gives you the ability to communicate with various professionals that can help you with your insurance. It also through that communication with the professionals that can help you with your insurance, through those relationships, there are opportunities where you can get into some great grow opportunities that can help you succeed. And the last thing I want to say on the point is, if you can become, like, there's a lot of different people on the internet that are saying, hey, you know what, you should just spend all your money because, and I'm sure you heard this before, like, you should just spend all your money because the money is energy and it comes back. And you've heard this before, right?
Yeah,
and
I've tried it.
You know what I mean? It's like, why are you telling people this?
Yeah.
Why? There are people, the majority of people that you're talking to can barely, like 86% of all entrepreneurs haven't even made 100,000 yet, and you're telling them to, if they roll their whole bag, if they spend every dollar they have, the money will come back magically from somewhere else. Take it from somebody who did that. Okay? Did that. You don't want to be in a position where you rolled your whole bag and you have nothing to stand on. You don't want to be that person.
Yeah. Obviously, you should have at least a 6-month emergency fund for expenses, and everything on top of that, you can go do what you want, but have at least that safety net, because I've done the exact same thing and I've been through it. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't.
It does. I understand the concept of, expanding your mind. And yes, there's a time to take more risk or use more money on the right things. But it's like, oh, I'm just going to eat a crazy expensive dinner and I have no actual plan or momentum in place for me to actually make this money. That's just dumb.
The money that you earn, the money that you have right now is an engine, a tool. This is how I'm going to end this. The money that you have is a tool. Okay. You said something on the last podcast about the fact that personnel, right? It's not the book talked about is not how, it's who. One of the things that you have to understand about finance, money, is that money is a tool. Okay. It gives you the ability to do one of two things. When you really dig through the trenches of it, it gives you the ability to do one of two things. Number one is utilize other people's time and energy. And number two is to create more money, which generally is part of utilizing other people's time and energy. So you can either be a consumer or you can be a producer, but either way, you will be somebody, you will be using money to employ other people to do certain tasks. The money that you have right now should be utilized to create more money, either by hiring people to make different activities within your business better, or by putting money directly into marketing so that you can advertise aggressively and have consistent revenue coming into your business. You should not be taking the money that you're earning if you don't have that foundation set up. You should not be taking the money that you're earning and spending it on your boyfriend or girlfriend or trying to impress people. You should be doing it to build your empire so that you can eventually exit the entrepreneurship space. When I was 22 years old, I believed that I would never not want to be an entrepreneur, right? Like, I'm an entrepreneur. Like, this is what I am. I'm going to be an entrepreneur forever. But guys, like, it does get to a point where you don't want to work. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do anything. Like, it happens. Like, you get to a point in life where you don't want to do it anymore. You may have grown intellectually, you may have grown emotionally, spiritually. Your priorities may have changed, right? Every 7 years, they say we become a brand new person. Every single year, every 7 years, your mind is going to change. So who you believe you are today is not who you're going to be 7 years from now. Take that from experience. So you want to make sure that you spend the time that you need to build a business with systems and processes, and you use the money that you have effectively so that it's at least making you more money, and you're taking the money that you're earning and you're moving it through this 3-step process, or at least, this is not financial advice. Even though I am a licensed financial professional, the reality is that this is still not financial advice. You still need to go and, speak to a professional, which we have, to assess your goals and make sure that everything makes sense for you. But the reality is, so this is not a blanket. So I'm not going to say everybody just needs to follow what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you guys need to understand the proper structure that's in place. When you look at somebody like Warren Buffett, we praise Warren Buffett for being extraordinarily successful. Wouldn't you agree? Like, Warren Buffett is one of the most extraordinarily successful people on the planet. When was the last time you heard of Warren Buffett losing money?
Not sure.
You never heard of it, right? Isn't that interesting? Investing money is supposed to be the riskiest thing you can do, yet one of the most powerful people in the world, one of the richest people in the world, is an investor, and he's never lost. Or at least not significantly enough for it to make news. What is he doing? Why is it that when Chase Bank or Bank of America or any bank loses, it's national news. I mean, if you really think about it, banks are taking a lot of risk every day, aren't they? They're literally lending money to people. They're literally trading money on the stock market. We all know that. So how come they don't lose? How come it's such a big deal when they lose? If they were playing by the same rules that everybody else was playing, then wouldn't you think that they would be experiencing the same type of losses that everybody else is experiencing? They're not playing by the same rules. The rule that they're playing, and this is something that you can look up on their balance sheets. This is not something that I'm making up. You can go on Google and you can look up how does Bank of America or Chase Bank allocate money, and you will see that a very HSBC, all of these banks, 100% of the banks, when you look up how they're allocating money, you will realize that they have a large portion of money in life insurance policies. Large portion. This is the reason why they're not losing money, because they're insuring all the money that they're getting. The other endeavors that they're doing are just as risky as everybody else. Is all the business that everybody else is doing. The only difference is that they're doing one extra thing that most people aren't doing. So the most important thing that you need to understand is that if you want to have secure finances, then you have to follow the money. You have to understand how the money works. Mm-hmm. And that's what Earn, Protect, Grow is about. But it just goes into it high level. We don't go into too deep into the mechanisms, because that is what's going to be discussed for those of you that are interested in speaking to somebody. That's what will be discussed when you communicate with the person who can give you very specific information that's specific to your goals.
So if someone's interested and they want to learn more, where can they go?
You can just go to highticketofferfinancing.com. On highticketofferfinancing.com, there's a tab that says get the book. Click that tab and get the book. The book is on Amazon. And inside the book, there are all different activities and QR codes that you can scan that can point you in the directions of the people and places and things that I'm discussing right now.
Got it. What if they already want to talk to that person? Is there somewhere they can go right away, or they have to get the book first?
You can go to highticketofferfinancing.com and click on Global Group Economics Initiative, and you can fill out the application and somebody will get back to you.
All right, sounds good.